Okay, hello. If you have a headset, can you just raise your thumbs up that you can hear me well? Okay, seems to work well. Alright, so let's kick it off. It's pretty crowded over here, so I'm just gonna make sure that everybody can hear me well, people with the headset and without the headset. So we have 25 minutes and I have a lot of stuff which I have prepared for you today, so let's get to it. I'm going to be talking about marketing automation today and specifically about the impact that marketing automation can make on your sales and on your business. So this is me. If you don't recognize, I'm the managing director at GetResponse. So we are a SaaS company, a SaaS platform that's been on the market for 26 years. I've been connected to the email marketing and marketing automation space for 15 years, which is possibly super long if you look at the slide. Not so long for me, but been doing different things connected with email deliverability, designing templates, creative stuff, servicing big accounts. Now I'm more into business development. I had a pleasure of publishing one of the first physical books on email marketing. 11 years ago, we sold 200 copies, so big flop commercially, but you know, that was a long time ago. And I have the pleasure of speaking to you today. Personally, I'm a father of one, love running, yeah, and I love cooking on the weekend. So you can hit me up for steaks and waffles, but that's about it. So that's about me. When it comes to the company, as I have mentioned, we are GetResponse. We do email marketing and marketing automation. Just a little background. We are the award-winning platform, and we have awards to prove it. It's not just our description. The company is bootstrap. It has been founded 26 years ago. And what we do, we have 400 awesome team members. We help out customers with email marketing and marketing automation, and yeah, work with multiple big accounts, mid-market accounts, and SMB accounts actually across the globe. So that's about it. I want to talk about three things today, specifically about building a marketing list. This is a challenge that I faced when I talk to people who are about to collect their first 1,000 emails, and this is a challenge for marketers who have a couple of millions of emails. So from my personal perspective, building an effective email marketing list, a marketing contacts list, is one of the big topics. And I want to take the extraordinary way today. I'm going to focus less on whether you should pop-ups or light boxes or social media accounts to collect emails. I want to focus on the financial aspect, on how to accelerate list growth, but to do it in a way that doesn't cut into your margins, but still allows you to build a big list in a very short time. I also want to talk about certain automations that, from my perspective and from my experience, are super effective. The funny thing about them is that they don't always have to be extremely complex to be effective. Sometimes it's even like the other way around. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to also talk about segmentation. And finally, the third point for today is personalization. So how to make it effective, how to use personalization to increase sales, but at the same time don't be creepy, right? And don't basically create the illusion that you're watching every single step of your marketing contact on your website or within their purchase history. So let's get to it. We're going to start from building a marketing list. And typically when you tackle that subject, people tend to focus on the tools, right? So we want to know what's the most effective way to build a list. Should I use embedded forms, inline forms? Should I use pop-ups, exit intent pop-ups, and so on and so forth? We focus on the design of these forms, like how many data fields should I actually collect? Is 2 or 3 too many, right? We also focus on how to drive traffic to those forms. Should it be just kind of a direct traffic? I mean, the organic traffic? Should it also be based on the affiliate traffic? And we kind of pose questions like, should I also ask people to register and to create an account, for example, in my e-commerce business, or should I only ask them to give me their email address? So this is all important, and we're going to tackle this today, but just for the beginning, we're going to start from a bit of a different approach. We first of all want to answer the question how to build the list in the most effective way with high quality data and basically learning as much as we can about our marketing contacts. So the fundamental question is, should we incentivize these signups or not? And this is a question that will have a massive impact on how fast you're going to build your marketing contact list and what will be the final quality of that list. Now, the answer to this question is that I think yes, you should incentivize. And if you think about that, if you look at the marketing research, consumers are willing to give away their data, but they do expect something in exchange. I mean, they either expect discounts, personalized offers, or they expect what they call the personalized shopping experience, right? So basically the bottom line is that I can give you my data, but I want something in return. This is for us, for marketers, to figure it out, how to offer that incentive and still have the right unit economics in our e-commerce or online business, right? So as you can see, people are basically willing to share that data. They don't have an issue with using their purchase history to personalize your offers, but then again, they expect something in return. This is why I think this is pretty obvious. The high quality data, great quality data, a big marketing list is possible to build, but it's not free. Okay, I mean, we gotta think about the right incentives to actually make it happen. That's why, from my personal perspective, a good, effective list building process starts from Microsoft Excel. It doesn't start from building a form. It doesn't start from, a fancy drag and drop editor that will help you to design your pop-up, because you have to figure out a way how to convince your visitors to actually leave that data with your business. Fundamental question number 2 is, how much is a marketing contact worth to your business today? So this is something that you need to figure out before you start building and investing into traffic, into collecting marketing contacts. How to figure it out? There are 3 metrics which we typically use that will give you, I believe, a very good idea of where do you stand and how much you can spend on contact acquisition. Number 1 is what we call the subscriber acquisition cost. So this is pretty, I believe, obvious, right? This is basically all of the costs associated with driving the paid ads, with driving the paid traffic to your forms or to your landing pages, plus other costs which you require to launch these campaigns, such as marketing overhead, work, platforms, and so on and so forth, divided by the number of new contacts that you are able to acquire, right? So pretty basic example, right? If your marketing budget for the PPC ads is $5,000, you just kind of divide it by the number of contacts and you come up with a subscriber acquisition cost. But there is even something that is more important than that. The second metric is the revenue per subscriber. So again, you gotta figure it out. How much revenue, how much sales will one marketing subscriber leave with your business? So the way to do it, I believe, is also pretty simple. I mean, if you figure it out, you gotta take the total monthly revenue from your email marketing channel. You gotta deduct the costs related to servicing that channel, such as cost of your email or marketing automation platform, and then you gotta divide it by the number of marketing contacts in your database. This is what you're gonna have at the end. So if your email marketing revenue in a given month is £50,000 or $50,000 US, and the cost is, let's say, £2,000, that's 48,000 divided by the number of marketing contacts in your database. At the end of the day, this will give you a number that you have to know to design the right incentives to build a list of engaged marketing contacts. Last but not least, the lifetime subscriber value, so the LSV. This is super basic, actually. If you figure out the average revenue per subscriber, you just multiply it by the average number of months that a marketing contact stays within your list. So this can be 10 months, 17 months, 30 months, whatever, but you basically take the RPS and you multiply it by the number of months. So at the end of the day, I would say that the last number is the most important one that you gotta know. If you know that the lifetime subscriber value is £100 or £200, that will give you a good idea. Should you offer free shipping for the new contacts? Should you offer 10% discount, 15% discount? How much you can actually afford to accelerate these efforts and incentivize people at the right way without breaking the bank. A couple of other observations that we have had while working on these campaigns for customers is that, first of all, this acquisition cost is not flat throughout the year. So it will go up, especially in the peak seasons. When you look at Black Friday, when you look at Q4 especially, there is a lot of traffic, there is a lot of competition. So there are better and there are more expensive times throughout the year to build that list in a very cost-effective way. Second of all, the industry benchmark is that you're going to be spending between $1 to $10 or pounds for the contact acquisition, right? So this is if you want to have some sort of a ballpark figure. Finally, the location plays a big role in these costs, right? Because the English-speaking contacts will typically have a higher subscriber acquisition costs. And finally, if you are in a business where you can count on repeat purchases, meaning you're not selling wallets or cars, then you can invest more into marketing contacts acquisition, because people make repeat purchases, then basically their lifetime value will be higher in the long term. This is an interesting topic. So we got this quite a lot, right? So we encourage our customers to use incentives to give away discounts, but if you've been running any sort of an e-commerce business in the past or any sort of an online business with incentives for marketing contacts, you're going to have people who abuse the system, all right? Let's say abuse the system, meaning what they're going to do. They're going to use, for example, throwaway emails to sign up multiple times for your marketing list to obtain, let's say, the discount code or the free shipping value, affecting your margins and affecting your business, right? This is something that is a problem for many businesses. As a matter of fact, it's not something which you can prevent 100%. Okay, so we gotta accept the reality. People will always look for ways to buy the products cheaper, whether it's signing up with multiple emails as one consumer or whether Googling for promo codes when they leave something in your cart. This will happen. It's not 100% preventable, okay? Second of all, we gotta set the discounts, which we give away as incentives, at the right level, right? So we gotta be ready to absorb that loss, that cut into our margin, and we gotta be aware of the fact that this can be used throughout time. So basically, we just gotta figure out the right unit economics of building a list. We gotta understand our margins, and we gotta accept the fact that these situations will happen. A very interesting tactic that some of our customers are using, they've been actually reaching out to some of these discount hackers, and they actually offer them a lifetime discount code in exchange for being a loyal customer. So they basically reach out and say, hey, I've noticed that you've been signing up with multiple emails to receive the 10% discount. We appreciate your loyalty. Here is the 7-8% discount code, individual, that you can use for all of your purchases in the future. Because at the end of the day, if somebody makes repeat purchases, that's good. That's a loyal customer, right? I mean, their lifetime value goes up. But you also want to make sure that they do it in the most cost-effective way for you. So this is one thing about list acquisition, and I believe one mind-blowing statistic, which I kind of love to quote at every conference, is that we are spending as marketers an enormous amount of money on driving the traffic to our website, to our landing pages, to our e-commerce stores, and we are spending just so little to actually convert that traffic, right? So as this example is saying, we're going to spend $92 to drive the visitor to the website, and then we're going to spend $1 to actually convert them into a marketing contact that we can talk to in the future, right? Which is pretty crazy if you think about that. That's like 92 to 1. So I believe there is a big chance for you guys to actually make a big difference here. Moving to the tools, right? So what seems to be the most effective when it comes to building a marketing contacts list? If I were to set up an online business today, I would absolutely start with pop-ups. That's one of still the most effective forms of acquiring the contacts data. They have really high conversion rates, between 3 to 9%. This is something that you can actually count on. Many platforms today on the market offer you some great tools to design these pop-ups, so I would absolutely start with this. A variation of it is the exit intent pop-up, which is not a very friendly name, but it works pretty cool, as you can imagine. It is basically shown when you scroll the website, when you spend some time with the content, when you look at the products, right? So typically, what we have found out to work the best is that you want to display that after, 3 to 10 seconds after the visitor scrolls the page, and then you actually display that exit intent pop-up. Absolutely, the remote is just acting up a little bit. Okay, the opt-in form. So this is no rocket science, everybody knows that, and I don't want to say that this will absolutely move the needle when it comes to your list acquisition processes, but from my perspective, having the right strategy is making sure that you have multiple touch points on your website where the contacts can leave the data. Opt-in forms are not intrusive, they can be on every single footer of your website, they can be on every single product page, and they are not spoiling the user experience. That's why my approach to it, it's a great supplemental tool, and it's something that you can basically implement almost on every single page, even on a blog within your website. Floating bars are actually getting more traction. They are a phenomenal way to get more attention, especially if your online business has a lot of mobile visitors. So the way I talk about that, to me, this is like a pop-up for people who use mobile devices, because this is the sticky bar which you will be seeing while scrolling the page, regardless of which section you're actually looking at, right? So you can obviously close it, you can just, kind of get rid of it, but if you don't do it, it will just stay there, and you can sign up on, at every single stage of browsing that website. Landing pages. Again, nothing new, but a real nice twist which you can do with landing pages is you can create a few of them, especially if you are into list building and driving, high quality traffic, and segment and personalize these landing pages based on the profile of the customer, geolocation, gender, preferences, and so on and so forth. The idea is to personalize the call to action. There is a lot of research that personalized calls to action have massive impact. So instead of like a general page where you can drive all of your traffic, try create 2 or 3 landing pages for different visitors, different genders, preferences, and so on and so forth, and see how this impacts the conversion of people who visit the page versus sign up to your form. Obviously, social media is still a big thing, right? You can start with something that is super popular, which is the Facebook lead ads, and I believe that many of you know how it works already, especially for email list building. So you can pick the audience and you can drive these people to your own form, to your own website. You can also try forms, set them up on your Facebook fan page. And the second, I would say, most effective tool, which we've been seeing recently, is basically including the links to your e-commerce store in the descriptions in your social profiles. I'm thinking specifically about Instagram, and I'm thinking specifically about TikTok. So there is one of the tools that can do it. It's called LinkPub. This is the screenshot of the website. It's powered by Shopify, so you can basically link to your Shopify store directly from those social profiles, and in the long run, hopefully also collect the data from the people who will visit that store. So the integrations with social media are absolutely still a big thing, and I think you should really have it in your strategy if you want to be effective. Cooperate with influencers. This is a huge thing, whether you want to drive sales or whether you just want to drive traffic to your website or drive traffic to your landing pages. Again, from our experience, this is something that is absolutely not exclusive to big brands or big retailers. Actually, the niche influencers, people who are very focused on one specific subject, they have a social media following of 5 to 50,000 followers, tend to perform great in those cooperations with businesses who try to sell online. They typically have very engaged communities, and they have people who are really aware of the topic that they're talking about. So from my perspective, connecting with them for list building purposes can be also a good idea. You should obviously check their engagement via Google engagement rate. You should absolutely check how the other brands' posts have been performing on their profiles. But I think it's a venue that is absolutely worth exploring these days. Okay, what about the incentives? I'm gonna just run through it. We don't have a lot of time, but I'm gonna share my email address after this presentation, so you can just email me and I'm gonna send you the full content. But I wanted to make sure that we have the full catalog of things that you can typically test out and that can typically work for good marketing contacts list building. So if you want to incentivize signups, which I believe you should absolutely do, there are a couple of things which you can try. Discounts. This is the most obvious one, right? As long as this is aligned with your lifetime subscriber value, that's like the number one. Incentive. You have free shipping as well with a certain minimum order value. I've also seen customers offering free priority shipping in exchange for getting the marketing data from their contacts, which is kind of a nice twist as well. You obviously have content. You obviously have content, and I've seen businesses getting really creative with that. For example, the home and garden industry publishes some really nice guides on how to take care of your lawn and so on and so forth. And if this is good quality content, you can really drive down the subscriber acquisition cost, right? Because good content will always cost less than a big financial incentive. You can have product giveaways. That is a nice twist to a discount. So instead of giving 10% to everybody who will sign up to a list, you can promote a product giveaway, right? That once a month, you're going to be selecting the new subscriber who will receive one higher value item. So this is also something worth testing. The early bird access, which I think is pretty obvious. Free gift wrapping, again, some of our customers use that. If you have products that can be offered as gifts, then absolutely, go ahead and try it out. Free samples as an incentives, and finally, the reduced member rate for people who join the email club. They will basically have better prices, and they're gonna have the access to the stuff to which most of the people don't have access to. So this is it about list building, and I hope I was able to give you a couple of ideas which you can test out. Now, if you have this data already in your system, in your platform, right? If you have a nice audience that you can talk to, the second thing you gotta actually decide on is how to communicate with them. And there is this question that many people ask: should I do campaigns or should I do automations? Like, what is better, right? Campaigns, they don't work, the mass emails, nobody opens them. On the other hand, some say that automations are time consuming, it's never a one-time effort, and so on and so forth. In my experience, you should absolutely do both. A good, well-implemented automations should be accounting for 50 to 55% of all of your revenue, all of your sales in the email channel, because they are super engaging. They have 3 to 4 times higher open rates and click-through rates, and they have way higher conversion rates. So your goal should be to actually implement both. And as a bonus of a good automation strategy, you're going to get nice engagement. And engagement is actually crucial for good email deliverability, right? Which is basically something that you want to have to reach your audience, to reach all of your marketing contacts. Welcome emails, they have 50 to even 80% open rate. So this is insane when you think about the industry standard, which is like 17 to 18%, one of the most effective ways to do it. And if you think that this is, that this is basic, that everybody does it, I'm going to share something with you. Last month, we did a research of a pretty big European market when it comes to e-commerce businesses and their use of automations. So we have looked at 1,500 mid-market e-commerce stores. We have signed up for the newsletters, and guess what? 51% didn't send any welcome email series in the first 30 days. So a lot of this stuff seems pretty obvious, but when you actually look at the market, it still seems that many marketers are just not using that opportunity, right? And these welcome email series are one of the lowest hanging fruits that you can actually grab. So what you can do, in a nutshell, welcome email series, right? So like I kind of purposefully didn't just put welcome emails here. I believe that welcome email series can be absolutely more effective. Very high open rates, 50 to 80%. And also a great chance to profile and collect the data about your new contacts that you can then use for segmentation. If you look at what sort of offers they're actually clicking on, what sort of contents and products they are actually engaging with. The second one is the abandoned cart, which is the second most powerful email that you can actually send out. It's not rocket science to implement. Very high open rates, very high click-through rates, and very high conversion rates. So I absolutely encourage everybody to try out this tactic. And then again, you can use a series of emails, which is being said just to be more effective, right? If you can make it 2 or 3 emails in a sequence, that's possibly one of the best ideas. The browse abandonment, right? So this is not about adding a product and not checking out. This is actually visiting a store and not making any purchase and not adding any products to your cart. So you want to re-engage, you want to target the window shoppers, right? People that have been at the store, that you can actually profile, you have their data, but they are not making any purchases. Good opportunity to drive sales, good opportunity also to drive traffic to your website. Thank you emails, again, pretty basic, but if you are in for good customer reviews, if you are into user-generated content, absolutely try it out. It's a nice opportunity. You don't need to send it straight away. There are many businesses who send it 3, 5, even 7 days after the purchase. But this is a nice opportunity to get that user-generated content and reviews for your website. The win-back campaign, one of the most critical automations as well. So this is about retargeting people who made a purchase a while back and they didn't come back, right? So you still have their data. You know that possibly your products could be purchased multiple times. For some reason, they didn't do that. So you want to retarget them, offer an incentive, and turn them into repeat customers. You can also do the same thing, but with people who just haven't been to your website. One of the strategies which I love doing here is to set up this automation for the first 30 days when somebody joins your list. So if you have a marketing contact who joins your list on day 1 and they don't visit the website for the next 30 days, this is typically the window where you want to re-engage with them. If you're going to be waiting for 3, 6 months, it might come to the situation where it's going to be a lost contact anyway, right? So you want to try it out. The 30 days window is really worth testing out. Birthday emails, massive impact on transactions, on conversions. People love them. They typically include an incentive. They typically include a promo code. Super easy to set up as long as you collect the data from your contacts. So I highly recommend that. And we are almost done. The back-end stock email, again, super effective, high conversion rate. This is about people who were looking for a product, who wanted to make a purchase, but it wasn't available. So it's a no-brainer to let them know that the product is available again, right? High chance that they're gonna buy it. And finally, the cross-sell and upsell, which you can do in 2 ways. You can do it via a dedicated recommendation module in your email, or you can do it as a standalone message that you're going to send to your marketing contacts. Now, we have to wrap it up. We won't be able to go through everything which I have prepared for today. If you want to talk, we are at booth D25, yeah, just kind of right across the street. And for the presentation and if you have any questions, if you want to connect, this is my email address. It's mac@getresponse.com, my LinkedIn profile. So I'm going to be happy to send you the full presentation, the full content which we have been talking about today. Thank you very much for your attention, and you have a good show. Thanks.